Hey, everybody. Ho, ho, ho. It is December here in Florida and wherever you are listening, and we are full blown in the Christmas spirit. Luke, Merry Christmas to you, man.
Yeah, Merry
What a
Christmas.
great, what a great, this is absolutely the most wonderful time of the year, no question. Of course, we've been celebrating at our house since about September. That's when Angie starts getting into the spirit. I mean, it's upon us, and the house is decorated, presents are wrapped. It's just absolutely festive. And if you don't like Christmas, man, just it's just tough. I love it.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, what is this your favorite holiday, Luke?
I mean, I think the whole season, I have come, and maybe I'm a heretic for this. I've come to accept Christmas music, Christmas decorations starting November 1. I've just started to
Yeah,
accept it. Used to be
yeah.
hardcore, got to wait till after Thanksgiving. But you know what? We got 2 months to celebrate this. I love the season, and
Hmm.
it is, and especially Brian, you know this. Once you have kids and you see them and how excited they get, it's a wonderful thing. So yeah, most wonderful
Well,
time of the year, I'd say yeah.
100%. And I just feel like ramping into Thanksgiving. I mean, it's only 30 days after Thanksgiving, really, is Christmas. I mean, I just feel like you're there.
Mhm.
And there's so much to love about Christmas. I mean, family, a little bit of a lighter schedule. I know our church schedule just kind of slows down and things just kind of chill. And friends, gifts, kids, man, Christmas of kids. Here in Florida, we got Disney season passes. So yeah, Christmas down at Disney, and then family that we're going to visit, and family that's coming to us, church, the events of the church and the outreach and different things. Before we get into that, I'm going to set this up, Luke. I want you to be thinking, I'm shooting from the hip here a little bit. I want you to think of your favorite Christmas songs. If you can think of a secular and a sacred one, 'cause I'll go first to let you think
Okay.
about this. Let me go here. I'm going to give you my favorite Christmas songs. First of all, I'm gonna give you the spiritual one, and my favorite Christmas carol or hymn or whatever is "Adore" by Chris Tomlin. Love it.
Mm.
Is just an excellent song. Great to sing congregationally. It's it's got depth. It's got meaning. It's the way it's delivered. It just really powerful. Then, of course, as far as secular songs, my favorite Christmas song of all time, and it's a specific one. It's a specific recording of the song. Is "I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas" by Michael Bublé and
Mm.
Shania Twain. It is over the edge.
All right.
I mean, the whole Michael Bublé album is just fantastic.
Mm.
Kind of gives you that nostalgic jazzy feel like Frank Sinatra and some of those other old school guys, Burl Ives. But um, but man, good night. Buble nailed it, and that duet with Shania Twain is just happening.
Mm.
So we cue that up all the time, and so that's where I'm at. That's I would say my two favorite Christmas songs. What about you?
Okay, well, since you put me on the spot, I'm gonna give you an answer, but it's been a little bit different than what you're asking for. I'm just gonna recommend a Christmas album that I discovered a couple years ago, and it is "A Birth of a King," or "The Birth of a King," rather, by the artist Tommy Prophet, and he
Mm,
spells Tommy weird, Tommee. I mean, this is my go-to. This is part of the reason I started making the exception that I'll listen to Christmas music on November 1 because his stuff is so good. I just look forward to listening to it. So what he
really?
does is he takes a lot of traditional Christmas carols and he remixes them into just these epic anthems. And I'm a big like epic music movie soundtrack guy. It's got those vibes. A couple of ones that are my favorite is Noel. And then I've been liking the arrangement of "O Little Town of Bethlehem." There's two versions of the album. There's the studio album, and then there's the live one. So he performs a live conference every year right here in Nashville. I went last year. I'm going again this year.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
And it is just powerful. So that's
Mm,
my recommendation.
cool.
Any song on that album, just about I mean, if you're into just like powerful music, you're gonna love it. So check it out.
On that note, you got me going. I know this isn't all about Christmas music, but
It's all good.
listen, you got me going. Let me tell you another powerful powerhouse to listen to is oh my goodness, now their names, the acapella group. They sang at the Super
Oh,
Bowl.
Pentatonics. Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
word.
Yeah.
We saw them live in Jacksonville. Christmas music, let me tell you, man,
Yeah.
it was over
I,
the edge powerful. I had literal goosebumps and
mhm.
chills and just very emotional. And by the way, their national anthem was the best ever. I think it was the
Mhm.
Super Bowl. Oh,
Yeah.
good grief. I mean,
I
they're just over the edge.
I think I caught them live. I think it was the same tour that they came to. You went to Jacksonville, I went to the Nashville
Yeah.
one, and yeah, you're right. That was a couple years ago. They are they're you hear somebody on a studio album like that, and you're like, okay, good. No, they are better in person, and it's just mind blowing to go. All of that is just coming out of their mouths. They have
Oh,
no
it
instruments.
is.
And they're incredibly talented people. So yes, if you can catch them, if they're touring, because it's like one of those things. Yeah, you can listen to their albums, go for it. But if you can catch them live,
They're better
it's
live.
something else. Yeah.
Well, I just downloaded the album you recommended, so I'll be listening to that one today. So, hey, listen, I want to talk, here, let's just, Christmas, we're here, outreach is coming, church ministries driving here. I wanted to just talk a little bit about what we do at River City that maybe would encourage somebody to reach out and uh, you know uh, maybe be a help to you. So here's what we've done. Our outreach at our church, the I'm talking about like the bulk outreach of our church
Hmm.
happens in the late fall and spills over into Easter. So like we kind of view it like we connect with as many people as possible in that season, then we spend a lot of time following up. At our church, most of our salvations and baptisms occur between March and August,
Hmm.
which is interesting. It's kind of like harvest season from all of our
Yeah.
outreach investment. Our big kickoff every year is Trunk or Treat. And at Trunk or Treat is our just mass connection. And we had 5,000 people this year at our trunk or treat, gave out 70,000 pieces of candy. And we're giving the gospel, giving out tracts, inviting people to church. It's just a real good, just kind of throw the net out there. That leads us though right into our single greatest outreach of the year, which is our River City Christmas outreach. And let me tell you what we do. I just inadvertently a couple years ago, I was ordering a demographic study for another area, looking at a church plant, but the organization sent me back demographic study of our immediate church area, and some of these things I knew, but one thing that stuck out at me about our community, we have about 150,000 people that live within about a 2-mile radius of our church. It's densely populated.
Mhm.
We found out that 60% of the homes in our community were single moms.
Wow.
So I mean, that's above the national average. It's the largest densely populated single moms community in Jacksonville. And we just know, first of all, there's single moms everywhere, sadly, but in our
Mhm.
particular community, single moms are significant. So last year, maybe it was 2 years ago, we started connecting with single moms and providing Christmas. When I say providing Christmas, I'm talking about a tree full of toys and presents for both the kids and mom,
Hmm.
all donated by our church, all 100% brand new stuff
Wow.
in the box, bought from the store. First year, I think we did 5 families. Last year, we serviced 25 families. And then this year, this is crazy, Luke. We have 52 single moms signed up and about 120 kids
Hmm.
represented in those 50 single
Wow.
moms. It's close to maybe it's about 110. We have a room in our church filled with toys. I could take the camera out here and show you. We got our office is filled with toys. People just keep bringing them. And so what we do is we gather single moms contact information at trunk or treat. We just have a sign at trunk or treat that says single mom question mark, let us bless you. And it's got a QR code. And they get in there and they sign up and we start communicating with them. This is cool. Our senior adults at our church own this project. They're the ones that reach out to the single moms. They're the ones that get the names, the ages of the kids. They organize our toy closet. And when I say it's hard for me to quantify, Luke, there are hundreds of
Hmm.
presents in there right now. Hundreds, not
Wow.
not scores, hundreds. Probably there might be 1,000 toys already in there. Um, and they organize them by age and by gender. And then on December 14th, our big Christmas party, our church comes together. Instead of just having a Christmas party, it's intentional. We wrap all those presents by family. And then the next weekend, December 21 and 22, we deliver them in person to the families and we give the gospel in their homes and we deliver toys to their kids. It is an amazing outreach.
Wow.
It's our single greatest outreach. I mean, we are getting into 52 homes of people that do not have a man in the house, and it is our best way to demonstrate the love of Christ, and it's pretty powerful, man. We're
Wow.
very,
Wow.
very excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember a couple years ago, I can't remember the exact when it was, but my dad actually took upon himself to reach out to a few, people in our church and say, hey, what are some maybe underprivileged people that you know? Long story short, we got connected with two or three families, and we're able
Mm,
to do that as our family to them. And you're right, there's just something about it because you got to think like a lot of these kids they're used to Christmas being anemic or even non-existent, and
yeah,
the fact that you can give them, just an amazing Christmas, and obviously we know Christmas isn't about just gifts and receive. Obviously, we know that, but it is something just to see the joy that goes
yeah,
on those kids and family faces. Not that, oh look, I got material gain. Just somebody loves me, somebody cares about me. So it's a
100%.
powerful experience.
I'll tell you, man, I've taken my kids with me to deliver. We walked into one of just the for our kids, one of the nastiest homes they've ever walked
Mm,
into,
mm,
and, there was nothing. There was no toys, there wasn't even a tree, and,
mm.
the mom was just so thankful, and she said, "You know, we were just gonna rewrap toys."
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
that's what we were gonna do.
Wow.
My kids get to see that. They live in such in fact, literally today before we got on the recording air, I had early appointments today, so I had to go home, mid-morning to grab something, and I helped my wife sort through all the junk my kids have gotten for Christmas because we're making sure everybody's, got balanced stuff. My mom's bought a bunch of stuff, and I'm thinking, these kids, I mean, they don't know the first thing about poverty. They live in affluence, that's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
I want them to get a heart and see that there's other kids out there that don't grow up like and not to mention, man, what a great opportunity to give the gospel. I mean, you're just we want you to know we are giving you these gifts because God gave us the greatest gift ever given, and we wanna spread that love. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it's just golden, man.
Yeah.
It's too good. And I would just admonish people, man, everybody knows a single mom. Everybody. So about half of these single moms came from contacts within the church. Then about half of them came from our trunk or treat outreach. And man, I mean, and they're all right here in our community. I mean, they're in our backyard. So
Huh.
we're not talking about driving 30 minutes to somebody. We're talking about somebody that lives right here in our community. And I really believe this year we're going to make it. My goal is to serve as 100 every year. 100
Wow.
families get touched by River City, and it's all funded and operated by our people. It is a tremendous situation, and the way our senior adults get involved, man, I just can't be more thankful. And I got a guy in our church who shops these I don't know much about these Dollar General clearance things where they end up doing like they have a penny sale. It's
Mhm.
crazy. Like
Mhm.
and I don't even know there's a science behind it, but I think about that for a $1 you can get 100 items.
Wow. Yeah.
And then there's Five Below where I mean spend $5 and get decent gifts. So we're going all out right now. And the other thing is it gives our Christmas party purpose.
Mhm.
Like we're not just getting together, we're getting together as a church. Yeah, we're gonna eat, we're gonna have a good time, but seeing our church, maybe I'll have to post some videos of it, or maybe I'll be able to send a picture maybe to you, maybe just remind me after we record this. But seeing our church family get a cardboard box of gifts together, wrapping these gifts together with the intention of sending them to these people. Last year, and this is what I'll send you. I'll send you a video. Maybe we can attach it to this. But when we got them all done, we stacked them up on a row of about 10 8-foot tables, and our people were all up in the bleachers of our gym. And
Wow.
we took the camera and ran down through there like it did the wave, saw all those presents in
Wow.
our church celebrating what we had done. Man, it is a great outreach. Highly recommend. If anybody's got questions about how we do it, I would be glad to let you know how it works and how your church can be involved in something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
highly recommend.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's to give your church the opportunity to, reach out to your community during a season of, again, when so many unfortunately are gonna, for me, it's unfathomable to consider that, yeah, there may be kids and families who don't get to really celebrate Christmas in the way that I'm used to or you're used to be able to give some version of that to them is powerful. And Brian, in the next episode, we're going to talk a little bit more about the maybe how you do. We're going to kind of shift from talking about outreach to maybe preaching and worship and all of that, and how you guys there kind of conduct your services, and like I said, how you prepare your preaching and so forth. As we
Yeah.
leave that though, with that in mind, what do you guys kind of do in terms of is there anything specific or unique that River City does there to do and get people kind of excited about going to church on Christmas? Christmas is one of the obviously Easter is the big day, but the Christmas season is kind of when people are going to tend to go to church. I mean, do you guys do Christmas Eve services, or how does that exactly work for you there?
Yeah. I mean, we're our big, let's say, outreach focused weekend, like for church. I mean, I give the gospel every weekend, but
Of course.
Easter is a bigger push for us as far
Hmm.
as outreach. But one thing we do, I mean, I don't know, this might be simple, but we have some ladies in our church that have been decorating our auditorium for years, and they do such a beautiful job. I mean, it looks spectacular in there. So I think a well done decoration, obviously, at least for a couple weeks, theming your song service around Christmas is obviously, a bonus. Um, I think we do this big party I was just telling you about after one of our Sunday services, which is always like it's like the second or third Sunday. And so we are and so I guess what I'm saying is our Christmas is more focused on our church, but then gearing them up to reach outside the walls.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of how we don't really do a come
An
see a
attractional.
Christmas.
It's not really an attractional approach.
It's more missional. It's more
Yeah.
missional. And
Yeah.
then whereas Easter is more attractional, we
Yeah.
do we do the Good Friday service, we do the kids event on Saturday, we do some mailers, we do some push for Sunday, riding on the natural momentum, and obviously encouraging people to bring guests. But I think that's more of our approach here as we look at
Yeah. Yeah.
Christmas. But I mean, we obviously it's festive, it's Christmas, it looks like Christmas. The music surrounds the season.
Yeah.
I think I do 2 Sundays of preaching on Christmas,
Hmm.
which I think we'll talk about in just a moment. But
Hmm.
so yeah, I know different churches do different things. I know a church here in Florida that does a drive-through nativity scene, and it's a huge outreach for them. But I think our outreach focus is going outside of the walls, and we use Christmas to equip our people to do that.
Yeah, yeah, and that makes a lot of sense because Easter is a natural attractional day because people are looking for a place to go. I think a
Yeah.
lot of churches make the mistake to try to replicate that during the Christmas season, because
Yeah.
again, even though people are maybe more geared to think about church during the Christmas season, there is not necessarily a Sunday on the calendar that says, "Oh, this is the day." And so I see churches try to make this our big Christmas Sunday, and if you do some version of that, I'm not saying it's completely wrong. But I always encourage churches to promote the spirit of the season. Oh, hey, join us, for Christmas at River City, sometime in, obviously, any Sunday in December. The only exception I can think to that is, there are churches out there that religiously do have a Christmas Eve service, regardless of when that falls in the week. And I can see the value to that, because there are a lot of people who have a tradition of attending church on Christmas Eve. But with that in mind, Brian, like I said, we're going to kind of close up this part of the conversation in this episode. And in the next one, we're going to talk a little bit more about worship and preaching in particular, and how to maybe prepare sermons and worship services in the Christmas season.
Hey, God bless you guys. We'll see you next time.